short.
Once again, we want to thank Jane McKinney for being so gracious and working so hard to have us here as her guest on her property, and the special care she's given to all of us. But her leadership and involvement for several years.
Very kind of you.
Yeah, very tiny.
Yeah, short staple, average differentiation, and I would describe the fineness as strictly average.
Just about an inch long, isn't it?
It's short.
Did you find some longer?
There's some fineness wrapped up in there, but it's...
If it had some length, it'd be pretty nice.
Yeah, it is.
Too short.
Consistent.
Consistently. Yeah. Which leads me to believe that maybe this is combed out.
Yeah.
It could be a function of its combing.
Now, we don't know the true story behind this weather. There's possibly was more fiber there that could have been combed out at a proper time. But the economics of getting just a little over 2 ounces of fiber, unless it's for personal reason and kind of a guard goat, you can't justify keeping one that produces just less than 4, as a rule, less than 4 ounces of fiber, of down, you know, practical use. Where that other weather had 18 ounces of long fiber. Wasn't the finest, didn't have the greatest style, but it's going to make money.
To make good stock.
What's the differentiation?
Oh, it's average?
Yeah.
Jane was saying it was average.
Good minus for the white, and average differentiation for the black fiber.
I like that style.
You can get them for Food Line.
Oh, food lines?
Yeah. That's the other place I've been able to get them.
Okay, food lines? Okay.
Food Line and Walmart's starting to carry them too.
Me and Jenny, we like
My
the
favorite
style on
China
this
store.
one.
Walmart.
Okay.
Walmart's my favorite China
Yes,
store.
Wendy and Jenny and others certainly like the style on this fleece, but there simply is not enough volume there to.
This is short.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was supposed to be first. I think one now.
It's okay, I'm gonna start looking at this stuff through Microsoft.
Yeah. Yeah. Or I have the stress on my chest.
There's 2
and
hefty
big
fleeces
fire
right up
fire.
there.
It's too expensive to lose around, but
That's pretty
I
forward.
have a magnifying glass on it.
Okay, you got one
Just
more
to
in
get
this
an
class.
idea,
We
just to get an
accidentally
idea.
gave
Yeah,
you the
and
light
now
one in the
that'll,
middle.
you'll train
I think you're right.
Have we got those other two?
Those are another class.
Oh, they're another class?
Does Deborah, does she wear glasses?
Hey, we got something here.
I mean, just like we do, you know.
We got 15 ounces.
Close.
Almost a pound.
Thank you.
That goat would have killed it. Thank you. There you go. Because
You want some?
I really can't use it.
We'll put it back in the bag here.
'Cause people-
So you get to looking at that.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. It's not the purpose.
no. It's definitely gonna be long.
No. Oh. Did you want your seat back in the pop up in here?
It's at least like this. You know, that'd be what, 2.5, 3 inches?
Yeah, 3 inches. But see, it's one of the coarsest
Yeah.
fleeces we've seen, but it's still cashmere,
It's long.
and it has a little more crinkle than the other heavy sharing mutton.
Yeah.
It's a little coarser.
Yeah.
But here again, you could blend this with some 2.5, 3-inch wool, fine wool, and some Lyrica for strength in the heel and toes, and make some good socks.
Is this still cashmere?
I think it is now. I believe it's under 18.5 microns.
Yeah.
I mean, the lab test would tell us, but
It looks like it.
it's got the style.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it does.
See, look at how fine those are.
So this,
They're
that's not an intermediate fiber, that's just a poor.
Oh, that's more crimson.
Yeah.
Okay.
well, crimson is nice. Gives that strength.
Oh, it's
This is the same owner? Oh,
I don't know. Do you want to know?
yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
That's another big heavy one, right?
Yeah.
How
We're
much
supposed
is
to give
that?
them an order of heaviest to lightest, but we do.
So the other one was heavier.
Yes. The first one was heavier than this one
This
next,
one's
and then the
15
light one.
ounces.
So the crimping wasn't so
And these are.
yeah.
good. It was average, right?
These are two.
It
This
is
one's two.
slightly coarser
What year's that one?
than
Three. Look at that.
another 18. I'm writing this as if there might be two different owners. Another 18-ounce fleece.
How old this weather is? Do we know how old it is?
We will in a minute. I'm just going to hold on just for a second. Born in 2011. They were all three born in 2011. So they're 3 years old.
13, 14, yeah, 3
Third
years
fleece,
old.
so that's. Who holds like that
Hmm.
with that quantity?
4 water? 3.
2011, that's right. So what's this last?
Okay. Everybody got the fiber back in there?
All right, you got to decide now. That's
The
another
pink-
class.
okay, from the-
Yes. Okay.
Oh, that's another.
We're going to place in first place the 18-ounce fleece. In second will be the 15-ounce fleece.
Going for the bottom.
In third will go
Okay, no rush. There you go, in that order. Okay.
But do you see how the different traits, they're never quite the same, and they're all of economic importance. And if one gets too much out of balance, well, it can make an inferior product. That's why the sorting is so important. You have weathers like this in your herd, do not mix this coarser, lower style with your beautiful hair. That's the lesson to be learned here today. Don't you think so, Richard?
I think so, yes.
Everybody understand that? So when you're pulling together your color bags to send off to your processors, be mindful of your does, your bucks, and your wethers in terms of the nature of the fleeces, so that you're not combining, for instance, those wethers with your kid doe fleeces.
Now, I do have a question. What is a wether?
Castrated, like a steer.
The steer,
Castrate your buck.
okay.
Give her some. Give her some. She's
We're all set.
not going to be happy if you don't. Do you want this? do
Just
you
like
want-
ice cream, they want more all the
You know,
time.
okay.
You're set. Okay, she's busy.
Now, what is this class? Older? Or?
Antique. Let me see. This goat is
Good
09.
crinkle.
5
Good
years old.
differentiation.
5 years old.
Yeah,
5-year-old
good
leather.
crinkle. Right?
Okay. So, what do you think about it now?
Good crinkle.
Yes,
The crinkle's better than what we've seen in the last set.
yes.
And looks like it's gonna have a fairly decent length too. Yeah. It's gonna have good length.
It's coarse. It's right at the
Yeah.
18.5, I would say. It does have good style, not excellent.
What's the length?
Length is not that bad. It's longer than the other.
It's variable.
Yeah.
One thing to remember as you're reaching into a bag of fleece, it's not so much what feels soft to your hands, because you can be very tricked by that and think, oh, this soft fleece is a wonderful fleece. Not always, and very often not always.
Can you hear Jane? Jane, can you speak a little louder?
Just a word of caution, when you put your hand in a fleece to kind of get a feel as to whether you're going to send this fleece to the show, don't be mistaken by the feel, the touch to your hand of softness, because you really need to stop and assess that style and make sure that you've got a good style in that fleece, even though it feels incredibly soft.
Also, there could be a lot of guard hair that would make it another fleece feel rough,
Yes.
and then it could have a lot.
Yep.
Right?
See, here's a part of it's 3 inches long. So
But oftentimes you're in a hurry and you want to send something off to a show, and you just put your hand in the bag and go, oh, that feels great, I'm going to send that. And it isn't always the best fleece. We all done it, I think, because we've all at times been in a rush to get something off, and we make that easier. When I'm getting ready for a show, I bring all the fleeces up to my dining room, and I just surround myself with fleeces, and I put my little board out in my light and my magnifying glass, and I just go through each one that way.
Yeah.
it's got white and black guard hair, so the white is good differentiation and the black is average. 8 ounces. Uniformity is good. Length is certainly commercial. Good to blend with fine wool. I'm putting down 18 plus micron. What do you think?
I had it a little bit finer.
A little finer?
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, you've seen a lot
No.
that I hadn't
I
seen.
think you've got a good eye. I'm good to go.
All right.
You asked, that's all. I gotta tell the truth. Here, I'll do that.
So David, is there like an average total weight when you comb that you would aim for? I mean, we know the more the better, but if you're at home just sort of evaluating.
Okay. If you can get the data or the experience, I'm going to say you really need 4 ounces or more of down, usable down, to really make money. But that is why it's so important to stress the body to raise kids also for meat. In the body, a thrifty animal is less apt to have stomach worms, internal parasites. So if you can raise the meat and then get this fine fiber also, it's a win-win situation. But I think 4 ounces is, in most cases, is a minimum for, on a commercial basis, being productive.
And then is there like a rule of thumb, because if you have guard hair in there, that's not going to be included in your 4 ounces?
No,
So
no.
is there any rule of thumb or that you'd say for if you've got guard hair, you're looking at 4 ounces plus what?
Okay, if the fleece is shorn off, the average yield will be 18 to 25%. But most people now are combing. So I'm going to say you need at least 60% yield, but a lot of them will go up to 75 or 80, depending on the timing and their experience, and of course the amount of guard hair on an animal.
So if you were looking at 50% yield, and you wanted at least your 4 ounces, the weight of your total comb should be 8 ounces.
That's right.
Thanks.
I don't know, I mean, yeah, what yield are you
Yeah,
getting?
that's sort of high, 6 to 8 ounces is kind of where the average has always been, but, you know, and the other thing to factor in too is your processing, and as you go to process your wool, you want to go through all the specifics with your processor, and you want to find out, when all is said and done,
Thank you.
what percentage of waste there has been in your product, and that can vary. Get your waste back, by the way, because you can use that for all kinds of things. You can felt with it, you can do all sorts of things. So don't let the processors keep your waste, but get it back and go over those figures with your processor. Find out why it is that there was more waste than less waste. What were some of the issues that your processor had with processing your fleeces? You know, did they have difficulty with too much or too little guard hair? Ask all those questions because, it's well worth getting the information from them for not only your current harvest, but the next harvest to come.
The standard says you should, not must, have a minimum of 2 ounces of total down weight, which is the down part. So then you'd be looking for a minimum of 4 ounces in the whole fleece. But again, you can learn pretty quickly by taking it out. If you have a goat with a longer guard hair, or it's late combing, or there's a lot of vegetation, you can figure out pretty well. I know my processing, and the same has been true for Yvonne, even on the comb, was around 50%. So I don't know, it should be higher when you look at it. If you pulled it out yourself, I think you'd get higher. But that's what I've averaged. I mean, that's what I basically see that I get, is a 50% off the incoming weight, and that's before washing it as well. So I don't know, Jane, what you get, or if you've noticed from your... Well, I mean, you don't always weigh it before you send it in.
Yeah.
I just go kind of what goes in the box and I look at what the weight was. Okay.
Those are good points, because we all as owners think there's a higher yield.
Yeah.
But with the co-op years ago, we got some that were 60 to 75% yield.
Yeah.
Now, were those
But-
long hair or long guard hair or like the fuzzy type?
No, I can't remember the details there. That would vary, but it's just combing at the proper time. And those of us in West Texas don't have the experience with combing, but every geographical area is different.
Yeah.
And it takes, and then the actual metal or plastic comb can make a difference. But it's based on experience, and then your time involved.
I figure an average, and I don't know if you figured it out, I figure an average is 20 minutes an hour. That's about what it seems like when I add it up, about what I figure when I'm hiring somebody to help me comb, which I'm going to do next year because my volume is an issue, or my total down weight's an issue. So.
Okay.
No sharing.
I don't know who. I don't know who, maybe we'll find out in a little bit whose fleece this is, but we need to be asking these people about combing. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's got excellent style, consistent length at 1 3/4 inches. There's very little guard hair in it. The differentiation is poor. But these people knew what they were doing.
This is a first fleece. I don't know why it's in the senior.
Oh, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a young one.
That is a young one.
Uh-oh.
If it's correct.
But it's a wetter.
That's a weather.
Oh, it's a young weather.
Do we put it in the other class then?
Well, just a second, Joe David. Let me see what how
It
old
should-
this one is.
Oh, what about this paper? Oh, you got it.
This one is 09, so this one was 5.
Is that the only one in the
That one's all by.
category
This is the
then?
last one? Yeah, this is the...
That was the odd man out, wasn't it? There was a
Okay.
place that
What if,
you had.
what if they
Let's
just
see
got
what
pulled
this
off the
is.
bench in the wrong?
11. So this one is
About
truly,
sending stuff to a processor as
those
far-
are all,
or some processors
this is
more
weird. You
efficient
have the
than
youngest
others
and the
give you a
oldest in the
better
same
yield.
class. This one is 5 years old as the oldest, and that's 1 year old.
Okay,
youngest.
did we already had a 1 year old
Which
No.
one do you-
lease?
No,
Okay.
he's 5
Okay, so we got inadvertently, there's
Well, just, we'll
two
create,
classes combined. We'll just create a kid class.
yeah, with that one, and a senior class with this one.
We don't have a class, I don't think.
So let's make this one class 14,
Yeah.
the baby.
But seriously, whoever this is, can you give us the name now?
I don't have that information, Jenny might.
Jenny has it.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I need to look on the back.
He wants to know who
I'll look on the
this,
back. Let me see
okay.
what the number is.
It's, number 29.
29?
So that goes there.
29 came from the Wiesner's Bittersweet Farm, and 29 is Winchester, so that's.
Yeah.
Who?
The Wiesners and Bittersweet Farm, I don't know them.
Yeah, I think
Well, they've done a good job.
All right, and so this is now your senior.
Yeah.
That's the only senior. He's 5. He's the oldest. These are all.
This came from Indiana.
Huh?
Indiana.
Indiana. Well, congratulations.
Okay, so this guy then would get a first, and that guy would get a first.
Yes, yes.
so we're doing, okay, so we're gonna do a 2013 kid growth. So
Yeah.
When was he born?
That's this one. This one was 2013.
Okay, all right, wow.
Wow, five would be a little.
Well, and I don't remember
This is class number 13.
So this is.
to weather an animal. Joe David, can you speak to when one should weather a buck?
Okay.
Oh, you have
My opinion on when to castrate or make a wether out of a buck is we got to remember that we always run the risk of urinary calculi when we feed a lot more grain, and the phosphorus